are set for January 9th. Both President Joe Biden
people didn't like, I talked to my dad about this, people didn't like him as president, but I think that almost everybody agreed that he was a good person and a good guy. Like, this dude was like well into his 90s building houses for people. Like, out there with his own hammer, hammering, putting together. Yeah, he might have made some mistakes as president. There's a lot of people that are great people, maybe shouldn't be president. There it is.
President-elect Donald Trump offering moving tributes to Carter. Trump posting, in part, quote, "While I strongly disagreed with him philosophically and politically, I also realized that he truly loved and respected our country and all it stands for. We worked hard."
I love how, like, every other politician has, like, a normal professional photo taken of them, and Donald Trump has this, like, weird AI art version of his face painted on like he's Braveheart with the American flag. The guy's a meme? Yes.
Make America a better place, and for that, I give him my highest respect. Meanwhile, Biden addressed the nation from his vacation in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Jimmy Carter stands as a model of what it means to live a life of meaning and purpose, a life of principle, faith, and humility. His life dedicated to others.
But during Biden's comments, the media appeared to see Biden's remarks as a bit of an opportunity to get a dig in at Trump, and Biden seemed a bit eager to oblige.
Thank you. President Trump to take from President Carter?
Decency. 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 Everybody deserves a shot. Everybody. Can you imagine Jimmy Carter?
They did bait him. They baited him so hard on that. I'm actually, you know what's funny is that now I guess like everything's basically over. He can just, he doesn't have to worry about getting baited. I bet he knew he was getting baited. He knew at the moment, this is happening to me. And he says, fuck it, I don't care. What are they going to do? They're going to fire me. They're going to fire me. I'm almost out.
Walking by someone and need something and just keep walking. Can you imagine Jimmy Carter referring to someone by the way they look or the way they talk? I can't. I can't.
Tammy, he was given the opportunity, and he took it with a grin on his face there.
Look, it's a shame and it's embarrassing for Joe Biden. He had that
I think it...
teeth thing that he does.
Yeah, that was, bro, that shit was a bit odd. Like, that's a lot. Damn, bro, like that. Yeah, that's a joke. Yeah, like, damn.
For Joe Biden, he had that gritted teeth thing that he does. I've said before on this program and other places, and we know for 50 years Joe Biden has been a jerk.
Pick your
so
hero.
Perhaps he should take some of his own.
I'm not
I think
judging.
he is too, and that's what I always liked about him. I hate how he acted. I hate when he acts presidential because he's not. Just be an asshole. Just be a dickhead. Every time that there's a clip of Joe Biden being likable and funny, he's always talking shit about somebody. He's always talking shit or being an asshole.
Advice with what's happened to this country. It was an opportunity, as President Trump, I think,
For so
illustrated,
long,
to be
I
generous.
fought for mutant
right?
kind's
Be
future.
generous.
Our
American
time
people have made
has
their
finally
decision. We're all
arrived.
Americans. We're
30
moving
seconds
forward.
before
We
you
will
attack.
disagree
Get ready.
politically, philosophically. But it's just a remarkable and a shameful thing to watch.
You humans
But it
set
is
the surface
classic
world
Biden.
ablaze with your weapons
Joe
of
calling
destruction?
someone the F word.
Lovely. Well,
When you put it like that, it really kills the nostalgia.
Didn't he say one time? Let me see how I find this.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
He just refers to this guy as just fat. I said fat.
Our enemies are here.
I feel like I'm so forgetting.
To damage. Oh, I need to break the mission area. It's yours to capture now. Mission area is yours.
You're ready. And like, what are the odds that he knew he was about to talk some mad shit, so he's trying to get some distance? So like he could get away before the dude would try to attack him, because he knew he was about to start some shit. You know, get out of range.
Get access to the public, to the president. So you're selling access to the president just like he is. So you
You're
got
a damn liar. That's not true. And no one has ever said that. No one has proved that. No. You see it on the TV. By the way, that's why I'm not sedentary. I don't like
Joe Biden being likable and funny, he's always talking shit about
You'll
somebody.
need a top-notch team to
He's
win
always
this one.
talking shit or being an asshole.
Advice with what's happened to this country. It was an opportunity, as President Trump, I think, illustrated, to be generous, right? Be generous. American people have made their decision. We're all
Open your
Americans.
eyes.
We're moving
Reality
forward. We will
is but
disagree
an illusion.
politically and philosophically, but it's just
Dark
a
Brandon,
remarkable and a shameful thing to watch. But it is classic
Round
A
one.
different Joe calling someone the F word.
Magic is
Didn't
not
he
to be
say one
owned,
time-
but to be felt, experienced,
Let me see how I find
lived.
this.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
If was that it?
astral plane?
I did, but
He just
I'm not
refers
entirely
to this
certain where I
guy-
got out to.
It's just fat.
going around.
I said fat.
Doom can sort it out.
You mean dooms, and they'll have to sort each other out first.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2,
He
1.
doesn't give a fuck.
Don't forget, securing the mission area is your top priority.
so if the timelines are all entangled, that's your son over there. Getting down and work for the gas company.
Get ready.
Had no experience.
See,
A shortcut through
and like,
space.
what are the odds that he knew he was about to talk some mad shit, so he's trying to get some distance? So
These
like, he
onks
can
are
get away
dangerous.
before
Only
the dude
one of
tries
us gets to
try
play with
attack
guns,
him.
you toys.
Because he knew he was about to start some shit. You know, get out of range.
That's not true. And no one has ever said that.
I still want you.
No, I know you do. By the way, that's why
Good medicine.
Eyes on this location. I've tagged a hotspot. Sure those are bad
I
guys.
know you do. That's why I'm not so proud. Oh, badass. Right there. Fuck up. You're fat ass. That's why you're fat ass. Sitting there watching TV all the time. I get it.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
And I can get things done. That's why I'm running. And you want to check the machinery, let's
I have tagged the foe. Hunt them.
How much Tony could have...
Here is an enemy to pursue. Nothing here. Suspicious.
Everybody, that's right, Patty, sit down.
Your toes. Here they come.
my son. I did the occasion. And no one's ever said it. You said I set up my son.
Keep going!
Get your words straight, Jack.
Without Spider-Man, he's lost its heart.
Behold the god of thunder!
How's the adversary? You get a web, and you get a web, and you get a web! Once I get you stuck!
I am strengthened.
Bring on the chaos!
Here is an enemy to pursue.
You get a web, and you get a web, and you get a web! Leave them to consume!
We must admit it. Here is an enemy to pursue.
And so factors like this is the fun shit. I love it. That's just my favorite part. You fact is one of them, yeah. And that was him still at like he was still low level because he's
Good medicine.
older fuck man. Like if you go back even before that, he said all kinds
Judge,
of
jury, executioner!
Watch out, they're headed our way!
Let's do push-ups, fat.
This is what we've been seeing, and it's partly what the American people don't like. You might not agree with Trump's style, but Biden is presented as he was the unifier and the last guy. He's a friend, and he's mean, and he's a bully. And
I have unfinished business here.
You know the happiest I had ever seen Biden? When he was sitting and hanging out with Trump. You guys notice that?
Our only hope to stop Null. Target locked.
it's kerosene.
Get that vehicle moving again!
Brilliant team there. John, we're delighted to have you with us. Thank you for being here as we look back in life of the former president. And your thoughts on the way the current president reacted to the sting.
Happy New Year, everybody. Great to be with you. It's not new.
Our enemies are near.
Behold the god of thunder!
Usually, I think, hearing those statements from President Biden, it's part of us wanting to think better of President
Only
Carter.
60 seconds
President
left.
Carter
Get
didn't
that
treat
vehicle
President
moving
Reagan
again.
that way at the end of his time. Carter was smart both before his presidency and after his presidency. May disagree with him, but I think the American people knew he was doing his best. He had
I have
the
unfinished
benefits of the
business
country
here.
at heart. He, though, like Biden, had, I think, a failed presidency because they were both defeated by inflation.
My friends are
They were both
here!
defeated
30
by
seconds.
My dad told me that like whenever Jimmy Carter was the president, they didn't even have the prices
time is short. Finish them.
on the
Good
items because
medicine.
of inflation being so
Get that
bad
vehicle moving
that
again!
they would just tell you what the price was once you went up to the checkout line.
Bogies, here they come.
Final 10 seconds!
Iranian Revolution, the House of Peace, the Soviet Union on the march all around the world. Biden took inflation, and Biden released. And Ukraine, of course.
The current score is 1,
Both
2,
men think we're undone by those circumstances, and hopefully we'll be followed by
Time to
stronger,
switch
better
things
leaders.
up,
Reagan, then
including which
hopefully Trump.
side you're on.
There's so many beautiful tributes coming out, and
Open your eyes. Reality is but
sometimes
an
you
illusion.
take the bait, I guess.
The right heroes could make all the
What's he doing
difference.
with Carter's bad policy? He the one that sold the Panama Canal.
As you know, they were undone by you know inflation and foreign policy, but those were also decisions of their own making that created their political downfalls. And so it is fitting that Joe Biden was one of the first to endorse Jimmy Carter in 1976 because they do share a lot of those same policy failures, both economically as well as with foreign policy. And sort of this misplaced judgment of embracing enemies and rejecting friends, particularly in the Middle East, which led to the Iran hostage crisis that went on for 444 days.
Stop spending?
Or for Joe Biden, your policies helped
They'll be coming in 30
facilitate
seconds.
Iran's
Stay
involvement with the worst day for Jews since the Holocaust, the most deaths since the Holocaust.
I don't know how, because
doing that before I arrived.
How is it that none of the crackheads that live in the cities that they record this in, how do none of the crackheads ever get behind them when they're recording and pull their dick out? Because I feel like
The battle starts in 5.
if I was a
4,
crackhead, that's like I would
3,
probably do
2,
that. And I wonder
1.
why don't they do that? They,
You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
Security? You think so? It's just a green screen is fake.
I got the Dylan's trivia deck from school, but I
Maybe, yeah.
Recent terrorism. The difference between the two men is Jimmy Carter will be known for having a level of decency, for loving his wife for 77 years, for being someone who flew commercial and took photos of people walking down the aisle along the way, for teaching Sunday school at his local
People definitely going to like him more than Joe Biden, I'll tell you that. That's
after leaving political office. So he will be known for having a failed president, but a decent man. Joe Biden was a true
I have tagged the foe.
After his death was announced, there was a lot of people that were saying, well, we want to lost, but. And even President Trump in his post said, I didn't agree with him politically. Like, at some point, can we take the politics out and just focus on the human being? At least it just alluded to. He was all about
Here is an enemy to pursue.
Taught going to Sunday school at his church. He brought the guinea worm. It's not that everybody knows what that is, but it's a huge public issue.
This is real fire
This was empty, yet somehow dangerous.
No shit, they're going to bring this fucking president.
Global has brought incidence down 19.9%. He helped lead those efforts.
Yeah.
He also lived with stage 4 melanoma for years.
I am strengthened.
We don't have to say, this is good, but President Biden obviously did that. He said he created to be
This feels empty, yet somehow dangerous.
Here's how you shoot.
It's in there.
Thank God.
Behold the god of thunder!
And I think that
Enemy in front of us.
he can either say something positive about them or say nothing at all. I mean,
I said thank God.
You're still working. History is complicated.
By
and
the
people are
shades of the
complicated, and so I think it's just
seraphim, I
taking into account
return.
the complexity of all that and just being truthful. I mean, I
You
see
need
your
to
point,
stop
but
that
I guess I
vehicle
take
in
the
its
point
tracks.
of it's just be honest.
Yeah, well, we can have the conversation about his politics. I mean, these are all excellent points that we need to talk about. I mean, and we can say a lot of negative things about them. I just think in the moment when you're talking about someone dying, that's not the time to talk about it.
Better stop that vehicle!
The president, a better face.
I have located one of our
Behind us. Exhausting, completely stupid. Like,
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Compagno.
he goes,
The mystic
he says
arts
one
won't fail
dumbass
me
thing,
again.
and everybody acts like it's a big deal. It's not even a big deal.
Better stop that
It's really
vehicle!
not. I've always hated how, like, there'll be people that die and then everybody acts like they were friends with them or they like them. I feel like that kind of stopped though. Like, remember when Too Mad died? Everybody was like, yeah, W, right? Like, they were all happy. So, like, that's not really the case anymore. But, like, man, for a bit, people really went into that. They really did. And it's just weird as fuck. Yeah.
This is real!
They're doing it for attention, right? They're trying to put on this perception to make people like them and think that they're different or something like that. It's cringe as fuck to me, man. Virtue signaling is absolutely virtue signaling. It's virtue signaling down to a fucking T.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Disney say Trump's a better father. I don't know. I mean, Biden's other son, we're hearing, and the successful businessman, and just died from like a form of cancer. It was really sad, actually. Yeah, I mean, that sucks. Like, yeah, it really sucks. I mean, like, he had some bad shit happen to him. So, I mean, that's life. Are studios and publishers just dumb? So, let me look and see. So I've always thought that money dictates everything. However, looking at game studios and publishers recently, I'm questioning whether this is true. So many AAA games come out, pushing their vertical views, usually left-leaning. That's not true. They're always left-leaning. And gamers, time and time again, speak with their wallets, and these games flop hard, costing hundreds of millions of dollars for the studios and the publishers. Logic would dictate that money at the top, people would say this isn't okay, you need to change and give players what they want. But that's the thing, they don't. At what point are studio heads going to wake up, get rid of they, them, who somehow got into positions of running studios, making key decisions, and start delivering games that make bank? So I'll tell you when. This happened kind of recently. So basically what it was is that there was a storyline that Disney had for one of their new movies, and it was like a trans situation, right? And basically, Disney decided to take it out. They got rid of the trans storyline, and from the upcoming Pixar Win or Lose, yeah.
Disney is stirring
right heroes could make all the difference.
To edit out a transgender storyline from its animated series called Win or Lose. This series follows a middle school
Be wary.
softball
No
team
timeline exists where Magneto
The transgender
yields.
character will remain in the show, but Disney has decided to remove several lines of dialogue that reference the character's gender identity. The company said it wants to allow
The reason why is because it's very obvious that average people don't want to hear about transgender ideology being pushed on underage people. This is very obviously everybody can see this.
To suffer the
only
same
people that
fate
can't
as
see this are the people
Kenosha.
that are intentionally trying not to find it.
We'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
The series is produced by Emeryville-based Pixar, a division of Disney.
They say Dixar?
It's set to
Tis a
begin
pleasure
streaming
to see you, my dear.
For more perspective, we're joined here this afternoon live by Dr. Sean Fletcher, a professor
You may
of
not
public
be a true
relations and sport
mutant,
communication
but you
at
will
San Jose
always
State
be welcome on
University.
Krakoa.
Professor, it's good to see you. We appreciate your time. So let's start off with the overarching question here. What do you think
The battle starts in
Disney
5,
to remove this
4,
dialogue?
3, 2, 1. Stop that vehicle in its tracks.
Conservatives like trans, liberals like trans. That's it.
Where somehow, some way, someone had an awakening and decided to make this alteration in the script so late into production.
It's because people switched up on this really fast. That's the reason why. It's like, yeah, I mean, I'm not the only person that's seeing this shit, right? Like, people are switching up on this real quick. And I think they're going to keep going. Trump won his line. I think they're right. I mean, that probably is a big factor.
Seems to me, from Bob Iger's Disney's lead, to do an about face, feeling as though
much better. They shall not escape our wrath now.
Is very different than what Disney and
You cannot hurt me.
has put out there.
that's because they don't care about it in the first place. All they care about politics as a
We are undefeatable!
Literally them. There's the example. Yeah, wow. They already did. Exactly.
Is completely getting caught up in what has now become a culture war related to transgender.
When I talk about anti-Semitic, Disney, what we are talking about, we're talking about.
Better stop that vehicle!
We're talking about the
two primal forces merged as one. I feel like myself again.
It's not just like some kind of well, it's a joke or something like that. They're going whole hog. Yep, whole hog on it.
Gender issues.
What do you think Disney is worried about here? I mean, on the one hand, like you say, obviously this was approved at some point, and this was green lighted, and now a few years later, you have Disney clearly worried potentially about
unleashed.
That's exactly it. Because it got changed. People changed their opinion. That's why. That's why you never use social issues to talk about
this
things.
Will be helpful.
It's because eventually people turn around and they change.
In fairness, is chairman and mentioned in the statement, when the very popular Lightyear series had a same-sex kiss and many issues dealing with the LGBTQ community. You cannot
here's the big difference, though, right?
Our enemy has been spotted. Two primal forces.
It's like I think the average
you are under my protection.
And so when you're talking about like if like gay is like trans is like so like number one, it's a much harder
against the world.
It's adults versus kids. Totally different.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
A lot of people said, I'm not going to take my kid to see this. I don't want to take my kid to see this.
Tremble before fast!
I don't want to be part of this messaging. I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to hear about it. Get it out. And I saw so many people.
Better stop that vehicle!
And I bet it probably did have to say that.
I'm Moon Knight.
As a gay guy, there are no issues. Please stop talking about us. We just needed marriage rights, that's all.
Remember? Luna Snow?
Bro, like...
You are under my protection. All forces are working against
Look, nobody's blaming you because some weirdo is like trying to like do something. Everybody knows
they shall not escape our wrath now.
He wants to
we are undefeatable!
Some of the societal and some of the issues that
to my greatest hits.
What he was trying to communicate, I
Friends,
think, is that he didn't like how
better stop that
these
vehicle!
companies use his identity as a
Two primal forces merged as one.
That was, I think, what he was trying to get at. Whoever said it. No, I mean, but like, as a
the current score is
see, like,
0-2-3.
how this probably.
Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
That do a lot of social messaging.
You'll
about,
need
like,
a top-notch team to win this
trans
one.
issues or whatever. I do think they have been a tremendous
where Magneto
for the movements themselves. Like looking back on it and like thinking back on how things were in like 2016, 2014, 2010, I think that they have massively negatively impacted. like the Bud Light stuff, etc. Yeah, what the fuck? No, you don't think so? I do think so. And the reason why is that I think like the idea of giving people equal rights, giving people like the privilege to be able to
longer hide from the dangers that lie beyond our shores.
I think this is a pure ideal, and what a company does when they come in and they co-opt that ideal is it's like imagine you have
30
like a
seconds
clear
before you
glass of
attack.
water,
Get ready.
and then you put 2 or 3 drops of food coloring in it, and that food
We
coloring
have
is
been at
Disney's
odds before, Captain,
anti-Semitism.
but
It's
we are
Disney's,
more alike than either
long-standing
of us care
issues
to
that they've
admit.
had with
What could you
animators.
and I
And so you
possibly
take a
have in
company
common,
that's had
Magneto?
its own baggage, its
We
own
both
problems,
proudly fight to
and then
protect
it
our nations,
basically
do we not?
attaches itself onto
I
a social
simply
issue
feel
like a
no
parasite.
The battle starts in
And
5,
it is a parasite
4,
because
3,
it siphons
2,
out the goodwill
1.
and the lifeblood from the state.
I feel like myself
to
again.
itself while controlling so you're actually
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
and I think that a lot of people
Venture forth.
and they're like, this is not good. This is making things worse. I think that's what happened. Again,
Another
this is
shield.
my assessment.
Thanks.
People are going to disagree. Sure. But this is what I think.
And now it's really as though you're attacking
I feel like myself again.
to come to terms with as a society, but the
world will not forget your sacrifice.
Get that vehicle moving again.
society right now. It feels as though we want to now move things mid-center, and now all of a sudden it's become based on
Keep believing
younger audience, we recognize that many parents would prefer to discuss certain subjects with their children on their own terms. And what's wrong with this notion that Disney is saying they want
Like, the way that I've always looked at it is that the reason
Get that
why
vehicle moving again.
teach kids this way after it's the same reason why you learn about addition and subtraction. You learn about multiplication.
Your attacks are futile.
It's because these are more complex concepts.
Your powers are mine!
Without giving you the foundation to contextualize the knowledge with,
Get that vehicle moving again.
like, I actually do think that at a certain point, people should be educated that there are people that believe that there's transgender. They should be educated.
Fear Magneto!
Be educated that there are people that because I think that, again, school is to prepare a person to live, and this is a real world, and it's education, right? I'm not saying I'm saying this is something right? Just as an educational perspective.
to have these conversations with their kids on their own.
So the reason they removed it is because
Our enemy has been spotted.
Because that's the way
I feel like
Only 60 seconds left. Get that vehicle moving again.
How does it move this far into the production process? How does it get greenlit to this extent to where you have transgender voice being told so late in the production process, almost on the eve of its air, when it feels as though something
Down to 30 seconds.
this administrative management dialogue that moves things away. But it is absolutely imperative. That is a fair line to draw.
We are undefeatable.
Plays the role in issues
The
that
final 10
society has
seconds.
struggled to come to terms with. He's again going very late into the process that
We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
probably has a negative chilling effect
0,
scene.
2,
Because
3.
the people that wanted to put it in are going to call you a transphobe and complain to HR and try to get you fired. So the
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
it's very hard to weed this stuff out of different spaces because of how dangerous it can be for a person's career. And that's the reason why you're talking about toxic positivity. What I'm talking about is like the types of people that try to really push this. Not all of them, of course, but there's enough of them to where nobody wants to be labeled that ism or that phobe that is going to cause them to lose a promotion or get fired or get alienated from the office culture. So that's why they're afraid of it, and that's why they don't talk about it. And that's how these issues keep going and they keep happening. It's because they only really get stopped whenever they get to the very, very high executive level because those people don't give a fuck. But you have to get really, really high up there.
My curiosity
That's what
as
happens.
to
That's toxic
what
workspace stuff.
potentially may
That's
be an
what happens.
underlying issue that you're trying to do.
All right, we appreciate your perspective always, Dr. Sean Fletcher.
So there you go.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you can also look at, yeah, I think the dialogue had to be cut due to some references that are way too adult for a family-friendly show. Yeah, exactly. And so I think this is really what happens with, yeah, this is Disney, right? And this is why it happens. It happens because of that chilling effect and how it affects everybody
right heroes
else
could make
that's
all the
around it.
difference.
And like when they see it negatively affect them, they think to themselves, well, fuck that. I'm not going to do this anymore, right? I'm not going to take this risk. I'm not going to put myself in this position. And I think that's a smart thing to do in a lot of cases. Yeah, no one wants to be a martyr. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, nobody wants to, like, because the thing is that a lot of people...
Be
This is one of the
wary.
big problems.
No
is that a lot
timeline
of
exists
people
where Magneto
who end up
yields.
getting fired for something like this, their life is materially worse after it happens. So it's not like, you know, like what's Gina Carano doing nowadays? Not really a whole lot. And so
No matter
people
the
look at it
price.
and they see kind of what happens to other people, and they
They'll be
don't want
coming in
that
30
to happen to
seconds.
them.
Stay strong.
They hire cheap workers too? Yeah, exactly. She works for Daily Wire. Exactly.
Should
Yeah,
you
you get
fall,
blacklisted.
Thunder God?
So she's still
I shall put
yeah,
that
but
hammer
if
of
she's gonna win
yours
or
to
not,
good
I'm assuming
use.
she's not going to. I highly doubt that she will win. But anyway, so that's the reason why they're
Who
quote,
needs to
dumb.
lift it
It's
when I
because
can
there's a
reshape
chilling
its
effect
uru
inside
metal
of the studios
The battle
to
starts in
attack
5,
or criticize
4,
or even ask questions
3,
about this.
2, 1.
I do actually think that we're having a.
You have to stop them by securing the mission area.
This might sound crazy,
adversaries
but I think it is legitimately happening. The reason why, like identity politics and like woke shit in games, the rest of it is that games are so safe and so boring now. People don't care about
You're mine.
It is.
Rebirth is a mutant's greatest
This
gift.
is a real tweet from Xbox. They said, "You don't know it, but you're living in one of the greatest ages of all right now." Post.
Why would they do this? It had to be an ad?
No longer in control.
In this image, timeline agents, ancient death, medieval, modern, contemporary, and Dragon Age, the Veil card. You are.
Wait, this says,
A great
let's read
taste
this.
of hell.
Contemporary age, the French Revolution.
My power cannot be quelled.
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
And it ended, the French Revolution ended in 2023. Who the fuck made this? What? What are we talking
Better
about?
stop that vehicle.
Oh my god!
We are undefeatable.
Here.
That's a long application. Yeah.
Literally the greatest thing ever. Best game of all time. No other I expect comments. We're not really agreeing with that. You're mine. By refusing to buy
Mutants
games.
always rise
Imagine
again.
that the consumer actually had all the power all along, but people didn't want to accept it. That's always been the case. Is consumers have always had all the power. You can make the decision and you can change the way that businesses work just simply by voting with your money.
Yeah, these corrupt questions for companies. This is something that I've talked about quite a lot recently, and now in this video, even more examples have come up.
Our enemy has been spotted.
I am Asgard's might! More than 1,500 games have been rated on wild, quote, woke detector. An online group has firmly brought the culture war of woke and anti-woke into video games.
It's been in video games for a long time. It's not anything new.
My power knows no limits.
1,500 titles have been rated on an absurdly wild quote-unquote woke detector Excel spreadsheet. That's not the worst part. More than half of them.
You cannot hurt me.
I went into this fucking restaurant. It was called Longhorn Steakhouse. They had a bunch of fucking steaks there. I can't believe it. I'm a fucking vegan. What's
Your
this?
attacks are futile.
This is disgusting.
Ah, here they are now.
How is that surprising? I love how he says that's not even the worst part, though. Like, you can clearly tell that he's upset by this spreadsheet.
Oh, of course.
I will crush them all.
Transgender character Serona Ryan.
Yeah!
This seems like the could have used it was like the activist type from Twitter, like the arms activist types who were really upset by that game. Saying that to like boycott it. Yeah, really went like lots of streamers and streamed it when they were like peaking down. That was so stupid. This example hurts your argument.
Well, here's the problem with like the woke lists. The reason why they're problematic is because there's not a, like they're a binary system. Like for example, like they'll categorize a game like Elden Ring or Baldur's Gate 3 as woke because Elden Ring doesn't use male and female, they use body type 1 and 2. Or they'll categorize Baldur's Gate as woke because you can have like gay relationships. And I think that it's a huge problem with like that group of people that are like trying to fixate on figuring out which games are and are not woke because they don't know how to categorize them as a tier list. Like you might think that Baldur's Gate 3 is woke, that's fine, but everybody knows it's not as woke as like, I don't know, Dragon Age,
are under my protection.
So that's really the issue. It's that there's not like a tier list or a power ranking for them.
Seen some games that
Fear Magneto!
like real out of things times the not recommended posts are very like simply shoehorned in fake for lost stuff. Of course people don't want to buy games that come off fake and creepy. Would want to get like off. I also find it hilarious when people get all mad at gamers when they refuse to buy products from corporations. It's like
that's what they're getting mad about. See, the reason why is that like if we think about so let's go ahead and let's do something kind of funny. Biggest games of the year.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
Wukong.
They shall not escape our wrath now. Much better. I am Asgard's might. Your attacks are futile.
Stellar Blade. I'm starting to see power.
Mutants always
Japan.
rise again.
Elden Ring. Japan Dev. Dragon's Dogma 2. Japan Dev.
Watch me soar!
You are under my protection. Much better.
Okay. Japan. Ooh. Hold on. Fair. Finnish? Where were they from again? I don't remember.
Better stop that vehicle! It's now or never!
Swedish?
Stop that! them! Only
European
60
death.
seconds
Euro
left.
Hell unleashed! Okay.
What a
Space
curious place.
Where is Saber Interactive? I think they're American, right? Oh, they're Russian.
Fear Magneto!
Down to 30 seconds.
No, not no, I'm saying, did we make a single good game? Saber is Florida.
My power cannot be quelled.
All right. Maybe Saber's American? Okay, why are you saying Russian?
The final 10 seconds.
U.S. death. Okay, we've got one. We're safe. Everything's fine. But let's look at this.
Don't give them another kick.
As a
problem. You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. We are undefeatable!
Saber Magic games are actually better tactics than they are at the time of writing. 403 titles to document are 323 are original, and a staggering 204. Oh, it's staggering.
The current score is
with
0,
some hugely successful titles in
3.
there were corners of the internet that were
Time
up in
to
arms
switch
because
things
a
up,
transgender
including
character in
which
Serona
side
Ryan
you're on.
was included in Hogwarts Legacy when it released in February 2023.
Be wary.
Once again,
no
because
timeline
there's a lot
exists
of
where
people.
Magneto
So this
yields.
is what these people
You'll
don't
need a
understand.
top-notch team to win this
So
one.
when he's saying there are corners of the internet, do you want to know what corners of the internet are? They're called corners of the globe. So you have an international platform where people from all across the world, across multiple cultures, religions, races, and also nationalities, are discussing topics. And in some of those corners, being transgender is against the law, or it's not viewed in a positive light.
No
So, big
timeline
surprise,
exists where
some
Magneto
people on the
yields.
internet don't agree with things that are literally against the law in their country.
30 seconds before you
I'm
attack.
sick of these
Get
people
ready.
going and acting like this is some kind of a problem here. When we're talking about this is a global
I
internet.
shine in darkness.
This is a global
Be
platform.
wary.
Of course you're going to have people that disagree.
I will never allow Krakoa to suffer the same
Yeah,
fate as
meanwhile, the secret
Kenosha.
HQ of modern evidence. Yes, the internet's worldwide, exactly. It's because we have a toxic positivity game community? Well, I don't know.
The battle starts in 5.
Hogwarts Legacy wasn't a
4,
great game. It wasn't woke. It had one trans character
2,
into the game.
1.
I don't think it was woke
Don't
either.
forget,
I'm just telling
securing
you, like,
the mission area is your top priority.
it shouldn't be a surprise that there are people out there that are not fans of transgenders because the internet is worldwide and people on the internet come from cultures and from nationalities where it is literally illegal to be transgender. I feel like this is such a cold take.
You cannot hurt me.
example, like, the guy's actually writing this. Does he actually think this, or is he trying to, like, rewrite history here? Because, if I recall, there was the boycott Hogwarts Legacy people that were all upset with Serona Ryan. They were saying the name Serona was transphobic because, like, the Sir. They were like, of course Hogwarts Legacy's trans character would be named Serona Ryan. This is a transphobic dogwood. And it was actually a lot of the Hogwarts Legacy people that then that trans character by citing this dignity of Serona. He then says, unsurprisingly, the proverb is people care about better too.
I feel like myself again.
Real quote content protector spirit of the game does not recommend Hogwarts Legacy. Let's be honest. So as I mentioned earlier, I do think sometimes the people making those lists or posting, like partaking in the list are too extreme.
I need assistance.
Well, that's fair. I mean, like, there's no law.
We are undefeatable!
To use body type as biological sex. I can't think of a single logical reason why that would be the case. Doesn't make any sense.
You are under my protection.
Don't get that vehicle to its destination.
So, just my opinion. Moving on. Oh, first, one more thing. I did check the list to be sure
My
he wasn't making this
strength
up, and
returns.
yeah,
It's
that
true.
is on there.
Yeah,
This is sadly
he's right.
just one example of hundreds and hundreds, with each one having a similar format. None of the recent Call of Duty titles are recommended because of emblems containing pride flags. Forza Horizon 5 isn't either because the pronouns they them can be chosen. And Bully's Scholarship Edition must have caused repulsion among those who made it resident.
An opportunity for combat.
Put players in.
Well, yeah, big surprise. Like, a lot of people don't accept that there are more than two genders. Like, this is another component that these people don't seem to understand. Is that, I would say, like, the massive, overwhelming majority of the world that's on the internet
We gotta go under the
thinks
planet's
there's two
slimy
genders.
surface? Great.
Whether you agree with them or not is irrelevant. You have to acknowledge that this is a minority opinion. What are we talking about? Well, it's unlimited. 90% of it? I don't know if it's 90%. I have no idea. It's such a huge amount of people.
Hell unleashed!
Isn't it transphobic? I don't know. Genders and sex are different.
You get a weapon! You get a weapon! You get a weapon!
How many people do you think give a fuck about that experience? Really? But, I mean, really, ask yourself the question, how many people actually give a fuck about it? And I'm not talking about just here in America.
Vehicle reached
I'm
the
talking about
checkpoint.
across
Keep
the
up the
entire
momentum.
world. That's not gonna work. Yeah,
Can't control
it's such a small,
always rise
minor
again.
amount
Too
of
good at
people.
this.
Like some people make
Bored
again. Make the bullshit. What I'm saying is that I find it to be very annoying that people write these articles complaining about how, you know, people on the internet are not inclusive, but we have to. If we had an internet that, for some way, only allowed people to post from, like, America, then you probably wouldn't see this stuff be as popular. The reason why this stuff is getting really popular, the guy that made the original detective list is from South America.
Now I'm confident. If we strike,
Giving
we
the
strike
kissing other
I
players.
feel like myself again.
Video games are for absolutely everyone, and an entitled select few should not hold any influence when it comes to so-called recommended games. They have content feeds for video games absolutely for everyone, and the entitled few and entitled select few should not hold any influence when it comes to so-called recommended games.
Our true enemy lies beneath the planet's surface.
A feast for my crows!
Ironic? It is really ironic, isn't it? Yeah, that's crazy.
so close.
Wow,
This is
that's
your
what
big
they're doing?
chance.
Yeah, the lack of self-awareness is unbelievable.
Do us all a favor, get over it and
I feel like myself again.
We are undefeatable.
But I do enjoy how they make corpos mad.
The current score is
things these guys are saying on
3,
there. I do find it
3.
amusing because of that fact. Let me know what you guys think about all that.
Time
and
to
now
switch
moving on to
things
the
up,
next part of this
including
video.
which side you're
This
on.
is so fucking silly, man.
Be wary.
It's so
no
fucking silly that
timeline exists where
because here's
Magneto
really what the
yields.
problem is.
The right heroes could make all the
They
difference.
want you to not be able to express what your opinion is. They fundamentally want to take away your right to speech, and they want to have your opinion censored, and they want it to be where you are not allowed to have this type of an opinion. That is crazy. Absolutely insane. No, they don't. They just don't like all the hate.
I will do what it takes to protect mine.
So then they don't want you to
no
have your
matter
opinion.
the price.
They say that you're not allowed to have an opinion, you're not allowed to express their opinion, because they think that that opinion is hateful. That's
They'll be
exactly what
coming in
they're
30
saying.
seconds. Stay strong.
Yeah, it's literally that simple.
Hawkeye, we gonna save the world?
Don't be a hateful cunt.
We better. Like that
I don't like the idea that because some people have opinions that you consider problematic, that then they shouldn't be having the right to have that opinion. Unless they're openly advocating for violence or like threatening violence, then I think they
The
should be able
battle
to have an
starts in
opinion on
5,
whatever they want.
4,
That's
3,
the way it is.
2,
Who decides what hate is? Who
You have to
decides?
stop them from securing the mission area.
Who
Only
watches
60
the
seconds
watchmen?
left.
Who watches the people? Who is the one that's determining what is and isn't okay to say?
I feel like myself again.
And that's why it's a problem. You can't let somebody make those decisions.
Oh, will help.
It's a pretext, yeah, it's a pretext for control. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I think people have realized what the conclusion for this is because it's happened so many times.
Down to 30 seconds.
For this video, I know over on his Blue Sky account made this post on Blue Sky with over 10,000 likes. A lot of people over there love it.
I'm gonna be surprised. I didn't know Blue Sky had 10K users.
His take, it seems. He says, everyone's trying to work out why video games aren't selling anymore. Quote, too many games. Prices are low. Do you have marketing to fire on? Quote, but the answer is accurate. The world people are struggling to pay bills and rent, let alone buy your game. So this has definitely been a problem when it comes to the gaming industry.
The funny thing about what he's saying is actually it's been found out that in recessionary and economic bad times,
The current
people
score
end up
is
spending more money on luxury
2,
goods in some
3.
cases and entertainment
Time
goods
to
to
switch
distract
things
themselves
up,
from their real lives.
including which side
And that's
you're
why you
on.
can see a lot of games even this year, like Black Myth Wukong sold 20 million copies.
Be
You
wary.
had other games like
No timeline
Helldivers
exists
was
where
so
Magneto
popular. You also have
You'll need a
what do you call
top-notch
it? Like
team to
Dragon's
win
Dogma
this
2
one.
that was kind of popular. No, I think this is an entirely fake premise. Visible luxuries? Yeah, exactly.
It's not getting bought are AAA slop. And that post seems like it's trying to make excuses for these AAA companies. And when I say AAA companies, I'm also specifically talking about Western AAA. I should have specified that, but I'm clarifying it.
Yeah, Capcom is hiring more people. From Software increased their base salary.
That lie beyond
This
our
whole
shores.
idea that video games are in some sort of a depression is not true. Video games aren't in a depression. Western development studios are.
30 seconds before you
That's the
attack.
problem.
Get ready.
A lot of gaming companies in Asia, for example, have been great.
Oh,
Last
All
month,
spider
FromSoft
people
even
are
announced
connected
that they
to a
were
spider
increasing the
totem.
average basic
Great
salary
example.
pay
Yeah.
by around 11%.
So I wonder if they're like
And what's
Absolutely.
really is that the gaming companies over in Asia that are struggling right now are often the ones that are adopting Western practices like DEI. For example, as I talked about just yesterday,
The battle
a
starts
recent
in
financial
5,
report from Square Enix
4,
was so bad that
3,
it caused a massive
2,
sell-off of their
1.
stock, and the market cap
Don't forget, securing the mission area is your top priority.
Series extinction is on the agenda once again.
Oh, but I don't think that's the reason, by the way. Like, that's like maybe like a small percentage. It's probably a single digit percent of people who
In my coverage there, I can also too costly, among other things.
Final
But the
score,
fact still
4,
stands that the
2,
Western policies
3.
they've been adopting certainly don't seem to be helping when other major gaming companies in Asia are not adopting those policies and are seeing
Another epic victory!
on top of it, people want to use video games as a form of escapism. And anytime that people feel like the video game that they're playing is, you know, like involving itself with something that removes that escapism, it's going to lower their interest in the game for that reason. And because, like, fundamentally, they can't escape out of the game now because, or escape out of their real life now because they feel like their real life has been put into the game.
That we can see more evidence of these policies hurting Western companies when you take a look at games like SSK the JL and how that apparently cost Warner Brothers around $200 million.
Jesus.
Of course, also Concord and the massive...
Oh, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. He probably didn't want to say the words to not get demonetized. I understand. Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
That was. And recently, Dragon Age the Veilguard, which, while isn't as disastrous as Concord, seems like they're struggling to even hit break-even point based off all their numbers. And when I say they...
I think that, I mean, Dragon Age, it's not a terrible game. It's just not a very good game either. It's like just an... It's like... It's fantasy Starfield. Like, honestly, I'd say probably maybe Starfield might have been a little bit better. Yeah, it's just it's a mid game, right? And also, like, here's another problem with Dragon Age. Is it like, how many of you guys actually played Dragon Age? Like, actually played the game? Okay, nobody's played the game. For those of you that have played the game, have you run into the same problem where, like, after you get past, like, level 20 or, like, 25 or so, you feel like you're just spamming the same few abilities with, like, you know, hitting bosses or mobs that have, like, just a ridiculous amount of health? Like, the gameplay doesn't really feel dynamic or anything? It's very
You'll need a
repetitive. Yeah.
top-notch team to win this one.
Yeah, same blight, same objectives, exactly. And so like even if you drill down into the gameplay itself, it really isn't very good.
I'm referring to EA and BioWare, of course.
I'm
so
Luna
yeah,
Snow.
returning to that post
Like
from this
the
night
moon,
dude, I've
I
seen a lot
shine
of
in
people,
darkness.
often corpos, making similar takes to that, where they ignore the real policy issues going on at Western AAA companies, and instead they seem to try and deflect and cover for them. And keep in mind,
Another big component for why a lot of people are losing interest in a lot of Western games is because Western games are turning into the same game. It's like basically every single game is the same. Where and it's kind of like how you know how movies have turned into like kind of a Marvelization of movies. I think that video games it's like a Fortniteization.
Ready for
where
an
like
encore?
after Fortnite's
An
success,
Agents of
I feel like
Atlas
so many other
reunion
games
tour?
have tried to emulate that style in multiple
deny
ways,
that would be a
and
hot
that's
ticket.
caused them to have like a
Maybe,
sameness. to
but
it.
I've always preferred the cold.
Yeah, the Ubisoft formula, exactly. Yeah.
The battle starts in
Are other
5,
issues going on with
4,
these corporations? For
3,
example, their inflated
2,
expenses.
1.
However, Mike is specifically
Don't
talking
forget,
about why people
securing
aren't
the
buying
mission
their
area
games,
is your
which
top
is why I focused
priority.
on discussing that specific point. And it's really weird how often certain types of people try to ignore how delving into DEI has verifiably caused a negative impact on game sales. But moving on.
I also think that's a huge problem, is that a lot of developers and journalists try to ignore the problem and hope that it goes away. And like, you know, here's what's going to happen. You're going
It's
to ignore
okay.
the problem,
Admit it.
and it is
You
going
need
to go
me.
away. The people are going to leave. That's what's going to happen. And I see this all the time where they're like running defense for it and like trying to pretend like, oh yeah, there's a lot of people that think this. Well, if you go to the YouTube channel and you look at the amount of people that are responding to this, I do actually think that like an official trailer getting a really bad reception on YouTube does absolutely play into people's teams. And like maybe not the super normies, but there probably aren't that many super normies. Like there's a lot of people that play video games and like playing video games, and they look on YouTube. Like a lot of people use YouTube. And guess what? They're gonna see that, and they're gonna scroll down to the comments, and they're gonna be like, "Wow, a lot of people really think this game sucks. I don't want to play it."
It's okay. Admit it. You need me.
I use the show dislike button. If I see 90% dislike ratio, I'm staying away. Yeah, and I think that's a lot of people. So the whole, like, basically, I think there's a lot of like game studios that are banking on basically low information gamers instead of low information voters buying their games, even though their games have bad reputations inside of more investment communities. And I think that's what companies like Ubisoft they're trying to bank on.
I want to talk about the Game Awards. Look at this. It says, according to the official website of the Game Awards, the opinion of the fans counts in the selection of the winners, but the value of the fan vote is much smaller than that of the jury vote. Thus, the jury's decision counts for 90% compared to 10% for the popular vote. Yeah, I talked about the jury vote. Right here.
Not gonna lie, that symbiote is scary.
Jeff Gerstmann show, kind of funny. LA.
It's Spider time!
Good game. Adrian, NPR, right? So that brings you most of this list by
Totally represents me as a gamer.
I don't have to be some.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is these are the people that are really going to be able to tell me what the best games are.
gaming, but here you go. This is the Game Awards. I also know that we don't care about this stuff at all. We don't care about the Game Awards. It's just corpo nonsense. But it's another example of how
Spiders are cute, but vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum. We are undefeatable!
I thought it was pretty fun. You can take a look at it. Also hilarious.
I suck! I don't have to be center stage.
Like so mad that he like, you know, first air criticized DEI. Anyways, that's it for this video. Let me know if you think about this topic.
That was like I did not know.
Maximum pulse!
This is rip!
Oh my god, how does it look that bad?
Too. Hope you enjoyed today's segment. Consider liking and subscribing.
Keep an eye on this spot.
I just don't know what to say.
literal crap. What do you think about game dev? This is what I'm
Man, I gotta make another beacon.
What do you think if the panel was game devs instead? That aren't I think that they should make it like a vote, but
Armed as
fans being 80% and the panel being like 20%, somewhere around there. So I do think that real control that's exercised, but it shouldn't be like a 90-10 against fan voting, right?
That's it! Don't let anything
Throw up
stand
the
in
panel
your
of
way.
haters. Yeah, fan based 100%. I think that's fine, but I feel like fan based 100%, like you can do that already. You just look at Steam charts in the game, and that's what those people playing it on Steam charts. That's the one that wins, right? Pretty simple. But yeah, like Cotton Tomato. So I don't know about Cotton Tomato. What the fuck is a Cotton Tomato? I'll link you guys the video. I feel like what's happened is
This should help.
I can't believe they would tweet this out.
Not
We're living in
today.
one of the greatest ages right now. And here's the thing, it's really funny because actually I agree with them,
So close.
but
This
not
is your
because
big
of Dragon Age.
chance.
I feel like there's so
Undefeated.
many really good games that are coming out all the time now.
It's party time!
And I feel like it's just, there's so much focus put on the bad games that we never think about the good games.
I was worried.
Enemies on approach. Hey, Dee!
Strong together.
Enjoy the amplifier!
Get that vehicle moving again!
You need me.
Why would
We're finding our groove.
Today, the Lord stands with Wakanda. I will not fail them.
The current score is 3-2-0.
You can see that the
Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
Especially when the
I think this is what happens with movies too. This is why
I'm
everybody's
Luna
mad about
Snow.
that Snow White movie
Like
as
the
well.
moon. I
There's
shine
tons
in
of movies that
darkness.
are like
The
this.
right heroes could make all the
frames
difference.
gamers as the villains. But why is there a push then? And why is it so clearly self-destructive? I've spent a lot of time the last few weeks thinking about this, and one idea keeps coming to mind that I would like to add to this conversation. I've been trying to wrap my head around people like Alyssa Morcante, Matt Hansen, Kim Balair, and Cameron Wadden, who are typically
lot of
drivers
very
this
interesting
destructive
people.
narrative in the gaming
Yep.
industry. And many
It's
others
easier
to this
being a
radical
superhero
push for
when you
woke.
have the things
The more I
figured out.
see it, the more I see these insane bombshells that come out of nowhere. Like Cameron Wild stating that their mission through Sweet Baby Inc. is to burn the gaming industry to the ground.
They'll be
I feel
coming in
like that
30
was
seconds.
kind of
Stay
a
strong.
joke, but I don't know.
So we're clear. This is a real slide.
That's some serious armor you got there,
It's
Stark.
from my fucking oh god. Yep, there we go.
Not really. I mean, why wear an iron suit with one fist?
Burning the game industry to the ground.
Yeah, I'll
Or
take that into
Alyssa
consideration in my next
Morcante,
model.
an ex-senior editor of a gaming journalist company, physically threatening critics.
The battle
of
starts in
VR.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
It hurts.
Anyone taking you up on that yet?
Who does this?
Or Kim Balair,
Who does it? It's so weird. It's cringe. Yes, it is. It's so fucking cringe.
the CEO of Sweet Baby, received praise at a conference after proudly declaring that she's the one who can awaken.
A nice deep freeze. Fear best self.
I mean, to be fair, she was obviously
It's okay.
joking.
Admit it.
Yeah.
You need me. I suck.
Oh, it's me again. This guy, bro. I cannot wait to see a battle come out and see what's going to be in this game.
Probably gonna be these dumb shit.
Yep.
We got two
Purple's not so.
Field. Please let me help you replace me one day. I want to go back to living in the woods. Then go do it. I feel like that'd be better for everybody.
Why does this exist? Even though it's so clearly damaging the reputation and sales of the games or companies they push their agendas through. I believe it's a deeply moral issue.
Exactly. Yeah, that's wrong. He's totally right. It's a moral issue, and the people think that they're doing it and they're saving the world. So, like, from their perspective, they feel like this is the prime directive that they have to do.
Grow up.
There's a delay in the game. We're doing some
I'll patch you up. That is much better.
Overwhelming amount of exiles. We're trying to get this done as soon as possible, but it may cause a short delay in the servers going live. Yeah, it's just the way it is. Okay, that's fine.
We are undefeatable!
Financial benefits
I like
to
the
pushing
code.
the narrative that white men are bad
Thanks so
and that
much.
gamers are the problem. There clearly isn't a financial
I think that there was a financial win because the idea was that if you could make games that could minority audiences, you could theoretically increase the pool that you can sell things to. I think that that's clearly what the logic is. It's like, well, if we can make this game appeal to everybody, then we have a larger target audience. I think that's obviously what it was.
So what's driving it? I believe this comes down to the amazing human nature we all
Watch
have.
this spot.
To try to dismantle
Never miss.
not all of us, but most of us have this beautiful innate desire to discover.
That is much
It's
better.
okay. Only 60 seconds left.
Actually exist. It's true that some gamers don't help disprove
Here
the
they are.
accusations of systemic hatred within the gaming community.
I am ready to put on a show!
It's everybody, bro. Like, that's just the way people act on the internet. It's got nothing to do with
I like the code. Down to 30 seconds.
They're up against it. We
This
just
idea
gotta
for
hold on.
systemic hatred within the
Typical
gaming community
You're
doesn't
welcome.
exist, but this is an inconvenient truth.
That's what I always thought was weird. I always thought the gaming community was one of the most, like, progressive and forward-thinking communities on the internet.
Final 10 seconds.
Because, like, you have people...
We are undefeatable! A nice deep freeze. Still have to keep fighting until we have a winner. Be strong together. Thanks so much.
Pulse charge. Fire.
You know, like, you're not thinking about, like, words
Final
or
score,
anything. You're thinking
3,
about, can I play the game or
2,
not?
0.
And so, like, it's an automatic, like, kind of equalizer.
Was pushing this agenda.
Another
It's
epic
almost like
victory! Big
Now, from
win!
their perspective, this is why I believe that the fight for wokeness is one we are both pushing for.
I think in some cases it's well, gaming isn't progressive. 90% of gamers are white men, bro. Being progressive is not being part of an ideology. Being progressive is not being part of an identity group. Being progressive is a viewpoint and an outlook on life. So even if you have a 100% representation of, like, an identity group in an area, that doesn't necessarily mean that that identity group has.
Okay, how many people have heard of Ancestry.com? Obviously, as per the title, 23andMe. Those that haven't, or those that have but just don't know what they are. They're currently the two largest DTC genetic testing names in the entire world. DTC, or direct-to-consumer genetic testing, is basically the process of mailing a kit to your home, letting you spit in a tube, and then showing you all sorts of things about your DNA, such as predisposition for certain cancers, heritage, genetic profile, and even things like reconnecting with long-lost relatives who are also in the database. It's actually a pretty big fad back in the early 2000s, but over the years since, it's also become somewhat controversial. Yeah, it turns out this kind of testing is basically a super advanced paternity test on top of everything else, which led to a lot of people accidentally discovering things that they really wish they hadn't known. Like parents not being their real parents, or siblings that somebody was never told about, if you get what I mean. Which is a whole issue by itself. But despite that sort of danger, the novelty of having an in-depth look at your genetic code can be a pretty alluring concept, and it turns out there's a pretty substantial market. According to the American Medical Association, 100 million people have taken these tests so far, and that was back in 2021. The market as a whole is projected to be worth well over $8 billion by 2023. The number of possible applications for that in itself are enormous. So what could possibly go wrong? Well, that's a question best directed towards 23andMe, the holding company, because it turns out quite a lot can go wrong, leaving a once $6 billion Silicon Valley alien unicorn startup business crashing down, which is precisely what they're doing.
I don't have to be center stage. That one hurts.
I think I'm saying it properly. Paul Kusenza and Linda Hayden. There's not a whole lot about Paul Kusenza out there, so sorry, Paul, that's it for you. But the other two is where it gets interesting. Now, just to explain something real quick, Anne Wojcicki is part of the club. And if you don't know what I mean by that, it's actually very simple. Anne Wojcicki was married at the time, they're divorced now, to Sergey Brin, co-founder of Google. And her sister is Susan Wojcicki, former CEO of YouTube. After the company was conceptualized and founded by Linda Hayden, Anne Wojcicki comes on board and starts amplifying the business. She's big on promotion of tech. One of her chosen methods.
What do I hit next? I'm taking requests.
By targeting sort of high society, that's where we get these spit companies, which is literally just a bunch of rich and famous people getting steadily invested together because of social media. They all know it. In essence, becomes a
rocket fire!
Venture capital and even government. If you want even more proof of this, here's a photo of Linda Avey, Anne Wojcicki, also her husband, obviously, Rupert Murdoch, and Harvey Weinstein. She was collecting spit samples for genetic testing at the World Economic Forum in Davos back then. Because, I guess, why wouldn't you be doing that when you're part of the rich people's circle? And you have a trendy new service that tells people all about their DNA. Regardless, though, I do think it's fascinating that the company went around for quite some period of time targeting and collecting genetic information on all the drugs.
Consider yourself conquered.
There's another story there. Regardless, somewhere around 2009, according to various reports from the Wall Street Journal, Fortune, and others, Anne Wojcicki decided, no, I want to win. Convincing the board of directors
from the coldest depths.
Convinces the
next
board
time, you may not be so wrong.
There's this whole press release where she emails people and says, Linda's going to go work on Alzheimer's research now, bye-bye. And sure enough, she takes full control. I should be clear, there's actually a podcast now with less than 300 views on YouTube where Linda Avey straight up confirms it was not something that I chose at about 31 minutes in, despite the email from Anne Wojcicki reading, quote, I wanted to let you know that Linda Avey will be leaving 23andMe to focus her energy on transforming Alzheimer's research and treatment, leveraging the 23andMe platform. Linda and I have talked about doing research in Alzheimer's since the inception of the company. Linda will be greatly missed by me and my colleagues, but we're glad she will continue to be in a related field, and we are committed to continuing the work that she and I started 3 years ago. And yeah, she kicked her out. Linda Avey was a genetic scientist who actually founded the company, so this was really just the whole obligatory "it's for the best" type of press release being thrown out there by Anne Wojcicki, because she just looked back. It's kind of a perfect stage here when you think about it. Multi-billion-dollar startup, some of the biggest names in the entire technology world. $115 million here from $250 million there from Sequoia Capital, as they infiltrate the world's most elite technology, media, and governmental billionaire circles. What could possibly go wrong? Well, as I said earlier, a lot can go wrong, and now the company is basically bankrupt, worth pennies on the dollar compared to what it used to be, settling lawsuits for tens of millions after millions of digital private records got leaked in a massive data breach, firing 40% of their entire workforce all at once, and the superstar co-founder who stabbed her partner in the back to take control in the first place is trying to take the company private again with an offer so insultingly bad and incompetent, the entire board of directors quits.
You'll
from
need a
underneath
top-notch
her
team to
just
win this
screw
one.
the plans. I don't know if I've ever seen a company flame out quite as hard as 23andMe. It's kind of amazing. All right, let's go one by one because I rattled off a whole bunch of things rapid fire, which need a lot more explanation. We'll start with valuation.
Like the
23andMe holding
I
is
shine in
currently
darkness.
worth about $3 and change. However, that valuation is based on a 20-to-1 reverse stock split, which happened in October of 2024. Basically, the literal exchange was about to delist them for failing as hard as they had. This means that the real price is actually like 16 pennies compared to its original IPO, which happened at $10, by the way, thereby meaning that the stock is down something like 99%.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Now, a stock move like that doesn't just happen for no reason, and a lot of it has to do with them not making enough money. People don't really come back and keep buying
Manifest your soul sword and let's get going.
Done for good. But another big reason is this, which is a class action lawsuit among many such lawsuits, after the company suffered a 5-month-long sustained data breach, exposing the personal information
The battle
of roughly
starts in
7
5,
million people.
4,
As they
3,
say in the cybersecurity
2,
industry,
1.
a breach happens.
Don't forget,
But
securing
rather
the
than taking
mission area
anything
is your
from
top
the
priority.
breach, 23andMe decided, let's blame the customers, and put out this statement right here about how the breach had happened.
Enemy in front of us.
Claimed it was only the result of identity theft. Someone uses the same username and password that's already been breached.
I like the cold.
End up having their information stolen.
Come here. Let me help.
Enemy is good.
Ready to
Find
do
things
some damage.
very, very much harder. Although defendants' public statements seem to lay the blame for the hack on customers' reuse of previously
Be strong together.
technology experts have indicated that the hack was a loophole in the company's website. As one commentator,
You're mine.
a researcher revealed that allowing anyone to view a user's profile by entering a profile ID into the URL. As the commentator stated, this is a glaring oversight for a company dealing with such sensitive data. That seems like just a little bit more than your average credential stuffing attack, where the lawsuit ultimately ended in a $30 million settlement. It isn't that much money, honestly, for a company like this. But when you consider the effect of a damaged reputation, which they absolutely suffered from in the aftermath, the cost gets a whole lot higher. Turns out that the threat actor who had done this, going by the alias Gollum on breach forums, had started explicitly leaking the private information of Jewish users in the aftermath of the October 7th. And then also Chinese users who were having their data packaged together and sold as a bundle on various black markets. Point being, data breaches have consequences, and the idea that 23andMe would then blame their own user base for what seems to be an egregious lack of basic security is kind of ridiculous. Still, there's quite a bit more to it, such as a couple months after they finally settled the data breach lawsuit, at least the most prominent one, they laid off 40% of their entire workforce, disbanded multiple
Pick your hero.
and began
Or
cost-cutting
villain. I'm
initiatives
not judging.
company-wide, because at this point they were just lighting all of their money on fire. Except, don't worry, it gets better, or I guess worse, because a company struggling this badly is ripe for a takeover, and that's precisely what Anne Wojcicki tried to do with a proposal to take the whole thing
I'm
private
Snow.
in mid-2020.
Like the moon.
Actually, the timeline is kind of important
No
here.
timeline
They tried to buy the
exists
company
where
in
Magneto
August of
yields.
2024, shortly before they paid out the massive data breach settlement, which was shortly before they laid off half the company. So she was effectively trying to buy the whole thing.
It was a
cheap
team.
before
Let's go.
Some of the issues that crippled it even further.
Perhaps
Except
we
the
should
price
give
that
these
she
humans
offered
good
was
reason to
40 cents
hate and
per
fear
guys.
us
We
after.
got
offer
this.
was so bad at the time that the board
30
of
seconds
directors
before you
came right
attack.
out publicly
Get ready.
and said, quote, "We are disappointed with the proposal for multiple reasons," and giving
Tis
her
a
a
pleasure
5-month
to see
timeline
you,
to
my
update
dear.
things, get that financing,
I could say the same.
changes. 5 months later,
You
because she
may
didn't
not be
do
a true
any of those things,
mutant, but
the
you will always
entire
be welcome
board
on
of directors
Krakoa.
resigned.
Thank you for the
all at
invite,
once.
but I think
Keep in mind, we're talking about major people here, not random idealistic
battle starts in
dreamers who
5,
just care about
4,
the customers and
3,
happy on the
2,
whole. Example,
1.
Roll off Volta
All you need to do is
was
capture
one
the
of the board
mission
members
area.
who is a
Got it?
managing partner at Sequoia Capital, which is the same firm that previously invested tens, possibly hundreds of
I'm
millions of dollars. And who is the current CEO of the company. It's a big club, and they all know each other. Obviously.
spotted one of our
Apparently,
opponents.
Anne Wojcicki isn't really doing clubbing. According to her first, and I believe only on-record public she said, "I've always said ever since the very
Looks like the
beginning,
mission area is yours to capture now. Capture the mission
shares
area.
the fact that she has a majority and literally
A knife?
kind of suggests that.
Nice one, nice one. We got this.
There's more trouble. The company has assets. The those assets are going to be the target of investor lawsuits now because the spectacular implosion of a once booming social trend is a carnival that just keeps on going. When a CEO cements her power, right, or herself in the power structure, to such an immovable extreme that the rest of the entire leadership structure just up and quits, you know it's bad. You talk about that big club that we're not
I
in.
can be reckless
It seems
now.
to me like she was in it. She got married to someone big in it, but now they're basically kicking her out. Because she's losing everyone who's seen her money and won't stop fighting it up and make that. Either way, I actually think the company's baseline value is probably just a little bit higher than where it sits right now.
Your attacks are futile.
The moves are undefeatable!
Darlings of the Valley social trend genetic testing service startup. Making waves. Everyone talking about it. As per the title, it's a stunning downfall. That's it. Channel, check out the
A nice deep freeze.
the memberships.
Much better.
Those are great, right? Supplement, advertising, all that sort of stuff. I cut it there. So, thank you all for watching. Each and every day.
Captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Show's over.
Magic and magnetism.
We should destroy these arcs. Arc smashed. I am the goddess.
Worse than you think. Look at this. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all sponsored links.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if you clicked on one of our YouTube videos and I chose to start with 4 sponsored ads before I even got into the content.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Yeah, you do. You have pre-roll ads.
Please,
It's a
for
pre-roll
my
ad
crows.
of like an AI Joe Rogan. Wow, I really like this supplement. It makes my dick longer. Click here. What ads? Yeah, I don't know.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Magneto!
We are undefeatable!
Much better. A perfect conduit for your chaos.
That they shouldn't be moved to the search engine, and they make decisions based off of criteria that basically they like back in the day, Google used to be amazing, and then they started making decisions and we're not going to show this, we are going to show this, we're going to promote this more.
Is a mutant's
That's
greatest
when
gift.
things started getting bad. It's the censorship. Yeah, they were
Their
yeah,
team's
like
capture
Trump, like
progress
they
has
did this
passed
with
the halfway
InfoWars,
point.
they do it with pornography websites as well. People don't want Google to make the decision for them what they want to see. People want Google to
You
show
are
them
under
what
my
they're
control!
what they're searching.
Two primal forms merged as one. I feel like myself again. Race us with victory!
Because aside from the fact that for your content feels almost violated, the thing that works
Was that truly your best?
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
This is like kind of a YouTube exclusive thing, but like old advertising. So you see how you can see Surfshark because this video
Keep going, guys.
is probably sponsored by Surfshark. They pay extra money for you not to have to click this button to see the ad. And it's referred to as above the fold advertising.
falling down. The term comes from newspapers, where you'd want to put the most important information not just on the front page, but specifically on the top half of that front page, so that people can see it fold it up.
We can no longer hide from the dangers that
Now,
lie beyond our
newspapers never got to the
shores.
stage of having so much power that they could.
It's effectively a YouTube thumb. Like if you think about it from an abstract perspective,
30
it's a
seconds
YouTube
before you
thumb.
attack. Get ready.
regularly afford to stick big adverts across their fold. They needed the fold to convince people to get the paper in the first place. But compare that to now, where the entire
If
fold
I could create a world that would be safe forever for mutants, yes, I would.
Google's become so at ease that they don't even feel like they need to convince people to use them anymore.
That's true. I think it absolutely is true. I think
Battle
Google
starts
has
in
established
5,
such a large
4,
monopoly
3,
that they've
2,
engaged in unhealthy
1.
business practices.
All you need to do is
that
capture the
are
mission
consumer
area.
unfriendly.
Got it?
And they've been able to get away with that
Wakanda has
because of the
always
monopoly
reached
that
for
they've
the stars.
established.
Now we have claimed them.
They used to pride themselves specifically on how quickly their search engine finds you.
There we are.
Specifically invest more time in ads or trust that the ads have what you want.
I feel like myself again.
How many of you guys have tried to buy something on Amazon, but the first 3 results of buying something are
Looks like the mission area is capture now.
These sponsored links used to be highlighted in yellow.
Actually, in fact, I would say Amazon is worse. Because Amazon is a service that you're paying money to use.
Now, my child.
Use it in a very obvious way that these aren't organic search so that you can just filter them out. And sometimes they were in their own order. Don't let them do this.
Yeah, I remember going to
Certain results look exactly like the genuine search.
It's done intentionally, like it's be honest, right? It's clearly done so people think that this because people are less likely to trust something that's sponsored.
Capture the mission area.
Tiny little, much less obvious sponsored
Reddit? Yeah, Reddit does this
all
too.
of that is just for when you're searching for answers. Look what happens when you start searching for products.
Magneto!
Well, yet again, not a
They shall not escape our wrath now.
What the fuck is this?
Insignificant gnats.
What the fuck? What's this with mine?
Watch out, an unk.
This looks like a torture device. Is this like for like a sexual setting? What the fuck?
But instead, an entire carousel of shopping ads. And I think there's something particularly interesting happening with these shopping ads. And I'm not even talking about the fact that, no, it's not just you. These product listings are taking up more real estate on the page nowadays than they used to. They are 34% bigger just compared to 2021.
Insignificant gnats.
It's the grand finale. Your team's capture progress is past the halfway point. I'm hurt.
The moon haunts you!
I am ready to put on a show.
Rest now, my child. Trouble
Put the unk on ice.
But if you follow the argumentation that a company will do what it wants to do to make the most money possible, you will arrive at that same conclusion. Because that is what will generate the company the most money. That's the problem.
Before I'm searching for something specific, like let's say I was trying to find the thinnest mini fridge to fit a particular space in my room.
Judge, jury,
Let's keep
executioner!
fighting until we have a winner.
It fits the description I typed. Yep. It's big, it's thick. So Google really so when I scroll down
Blaze of glory! Is a mutant's greatest gift.
Nope. None of these products. Okay, so let's go back to Google search and just scroll down. Nope.
The moon haunts you!
Nothing here is it. Every one of these.
And the thing is, like with this, is that you could easily say that they're like they're making a mistake, but I think with
Our
Google,
enemy has been
trust
spotted
has been lost.
closely.
So if you see something like this, people perceive it to be the this is being done with malicious intent.
Magneto!
Your attacks are futile. People are unhappy and they just stop using it. I think that everybody should find it to be problematic that a lot of these companies are doing this in a way that's. I mean,
I feel like myself again.
Like, is this not, like, to a certain degree, like, bad advertising? Is this something that should be regulated? Like, your search engines are artificially making it worse in order for you to buy your sponsored products.
You are under my protection.
It's deceptive, and it's manipulative.
Consider me
now, is that correct to make it illegal? I don't know. But I think there's a question.
Fear Magneto!
It could very much be that way.
I am ready to put on a show!
Does it not seem like
Let them come and Fury's almost yours!
An opportunity. And like this conspiracy that you're bringing up,
you should be ashamed.
There's no reason to think this isn't happening. And also, it looks
Let's
like
keep fighting until we are undefeatable! Fight it tight!
It's not like they're out there
time to make them pay.
More money now by making
mysticism was
more
no
from your attention. Google's dream situation is that every company realizes that
it's crazy how so many things always go back to that Steve Jobs interview.
Another epic victory!
Where the engineers aren't the ones that become VPs, it's the people that are involved with marketing and sales. And it always goes back to that. Crazy.
if they want to sell, they have to pay Google to be part of the sponsored buying section. And I can't shake the feeling that they are trying to create this pay-to-win environment, because this sponsored shopping segment is now not just a way to get a little bit of a visibility boost.
Yeah.
It's been designed to be the only easy way for users to shop on Google. Like, for example, let's see what happens when you try and search for something with a little bit more detail. So let's go back to chairs, but this time, world's most comfortable chair. As expected, the shopping carousel is filled with...
Come on, bro. That's a $5,000 chair. And, all right, we're gonna look at this. Give me a minute. So this is comfortable chair. So we need to sue Google for false advertising. Let's take a look at this right here. Okay, so you've got fucking piece of shit. There we go. Okay, this could be a comfortable chair. Okay, good. This one could be a comfortable chair. Okay, good. This one could be a comfortable chair. Okay, good. This.
Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not judging.
Absolutely not. Unless you're a minion, this chair is gonna be fucking awful. You think anybody wants to sit in this piece of shit? Absolutely not. This is terrible. This looks like it comes straight out of a fucking Pixar movie. This could be a torture device. This is at the beginning of a History Channel. Like, oh, this is what they used to do back in ancient Rome when people said they didn't trust the emperor.
Superpowers are
This is
amazing.
fucking terrible.
Also,
and then this
the
one
ice
over
effects
here.
look great
You think
on
this is an
stage.
executive oversized? Yeah, get the fuck out of here. What a joke. Everybody know. Look at this flimsy
30
ass.
seconds
Look at
before you
that
attack.
Oh,
Get ready.
what a flimsy ass piece of shit. Look at this.
Justice is like
what
the
a
moon.
joke.
If you look up hard enough in the dark, you'll find it.
Come on.
Yeah, but what if you're in a
Come, what
room?
is this?
Or
What is
if there's
this
an eclipse?
trash?
Or I'm blind.
It's only 120?
The battle starts in 5, 4,
Nah, base dude.
3,
it's not
2,
for she wouldn't want to
1.
sit in that shit either.
All you need to do
Nobody
is capture
would.
the mission area.
That's why
Got
they gotta
it?
pay money to have Google put it at the top.
Honestly, I didn't like snow growing
They
up.
say nobody's buying the
Harmony
minion share.
always tried to throw snowballs with
I
me,
know
though.
what to do. Let's advertise. Let's put some advertisement on it. Does Romney figure that? Bro, look at that. Comfortable. This is a comfortable chair. This is the
I'm back in the fight.
Exactly the kinds of things I'm looking for. A varied selection of all very comfortable things with links to buy them. But then scroll down and most of the search results are just
Capture the mission area!
which is a separate, very big problem that I'm getting to.
Actually, in this certain circumstance, I don't have a problem with list-based articles being the most popular thing, because Google cannot make a subjective value judgment on what the most comfortable chair is, but they can lead you to other people who do. So I actually don't think that Google is in the wrong here, except for the fact that they showed the minion chair on the top of the truck.
That looks like a very comfortable
that's the chair Morpheus sat in. Take the red pill.
I've still got songs to
not
sing.
have to sit in that chair. That's Morpheus's chair from the fucking The Matrix.
down and you see this item is available for adoption, not for sale.
Your team's capture progress has passed the halfway point. Need some help. Help is here.
That's better. I feel
just for the
I'm
chair
back in the
to
fight.
continue to exist. Like, what the... Google doesn't even seem to care if it takes you to scan sites. So many times when I've been browsing for what furniture might go into our future home, we are recommended sites like LitPad in this whole carousel. Okay, so LitPad Trustpilot
I'm in a I put you on ice.
This company's trust score is currently unavailable due to a breach of Trustpilot's guidelines. This company has been pressuring people to change or remove their next
Start healing soon.
And even then, it's primarily one-star. Okay, so LitFad is a scam. Beware of LitFad's customer service. It doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to see that this is a
I didn't always love my powers,
any way that
but
Google
now I
wouldn't
think they're
know
great.
that there are companies like this that they are actively promoting. And
So I'll tell you why this happens, and I think he knows this too. Google doesn't do any preliminary vetting for AdSense. And that's why you see so many scam ads on YouTube and other Google products that are using Google AdWords or Google AdSense. It's because Google doesn't have effectively a safety net to stop those bad actors to come in. So basically, it's a, you know, shoot first and ask questions later.
The battle starts in 5,
and then
4,
if the ad is
3,
a scam, they
2,
solve that
1.
after the fact.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
the only conclusion that I can draw from this is that either Google is completely overwhelmed, or Google doesn't care. If someone...
I don't think Google just doesn't care at all. I don't think that's the only reason. It's both. Should they be regulated to take measures? I actually think the answer to that is yes. If you are monetizing a system that is going through what is like, you're basically allowing people to sell things on your marketplace, and you're promoting them, and then in that promotion, you're ensuring some degree of quality. I think that they should have a degree of responsibility to do due diligence for not selling faulty products, especially when it's systematic. Like, it was one thing if, like, I mean, mistakes happen, right? Mistakes always happen. But you have a systematic design that creates...
I'm back in the fight.
I think that they should be held accountable. I do think so. I think they don't consider themselves a marketplace. They're still promoting it and making money off of it. And it's harmful to the public too.
Almost we were working to fix this, but it sure looks like right now, as long as a company pays, it doesn't actually matter whether it's going on.
I was worried.
I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally ended up on chatbots
Self-guided fireball.
GPT when I've been trying to chat.
There you go.
Because they look basically the same. These companies, basically people accidentally clicking on them, it didn't all work.
Yeah.
Be strong together.
Google, when they started out, did not used to make a lot of money.
We are ready to put on a show.
People say, we love your product and you deserve to be making more money than you are.
You get away!
I remember in 5th grade, it was the year 2000. And I would go to the computer lab and I would use Google to look up cheats for Super Mario.
Be strong together. A nice deep freeze.
Yeah. And cavemen.
You made me angry. Someone needs a snowball in the
And
face.
in Ask Jeeves, like you had to be over 65 years old to use Ask Jeeves.
Be strong together.
Who, in their original paper presenting Google to the world,
Watch out!
Transparent and true. In Q2 2024, Google made $84.7 billion.
That's a good feeling.
Let's keep fighting until from US search ads alone, as opposed to
I think I see why you're doing it.
It's party time! I've still got songs to sing.
Sponsor it. What does Google do? Try to push their own services and their own initiatives.
Of course.
How many people are there on Earth? 7.951 billion.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Answer to a simple question. I appreciate how Google just goes, here you go. But
I actually appreciate that too. I think that's a good thing that Google has.
2024, this is not the right answer. It's actually not close to the right answer. We have...
Oh, okay, then it's bad. Okay. Yeah, well then it's bad. All right.
8.2 billion people. And if you click into it, you can see that it's showing